Back at you on another episode, coming at you from ChooseYourRelationships.com, author of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. So in this video, man, I'm gonna talk about what I wish I knew before the age of 20. This is a question that somebody sent me a couple weeks ago. He said, "Hey, if you knew what you knew now back then, what would it be?" So I kind of had to think about this. I made a little list, but even after making the list, there was still some things that I kind of added. So I'm kind of flowing off the top of my head along with the little list that I made. And to be honest, man, there's a lot of stuff I wish I knew back then. And you have to realize that now that I look back to how I grew up and the people I grew up around and the neighborhood I grew up around and the city I grew up around, we were very sheltered growing up. And, I was born in the 70s and I was raised throughout the 80s and 90s. So I had older parents. As a matter of fact, if my parents were living today, my dad would be 92 and my mom would be 87. So I had older parents growing up. And my grandmother was always old, so and one thing that was unique about me growing up, I met my grandparents on my mom's side and my great grandparents on my mom's side. And I've never met my grandparents on my dad's side at all. They all died early, you know. But the reason why, you might be saying, well, why is that unique that you met your grandparents and your great grandparents? Because most people don't. Most people I know haven't met their great grandparents. Most people haven't. So I had a anything I wanted to know about my family, all I had to do was ask my grandparents and my great grandparents at an early age. And a lot of stuff they were saying I didn't really understand. So this is what I'm pulling from. This is where I got a lot of my information from, a lot of my game from early during my early years. So one of the things I wish I knew is the success game is a lonely game. It's a lonely game. Most people, they want to fit into the system. They want to be a part of the system. Anything outside the system, most people, and they might not say this, but most people kind of they kind of look down upon. It's kind of looked down upon. Uh, I would say in most big cities, you got the LA, the New York, Chicago, Miami, um, Atlanta. I put Seattle up in there, Minneapolis, Houston, Dallas. I put Austin up in there. Outside of these mega cities, um, they don't really respect creatives. People don't really think outside the box. So in these small towns throughout mid America, uh, people don't really think outside the box. They stick to what's been going on since the beginning of time, or what's been going on since before them. People don't really they just want to fit in. That's why success is a lonely game, because you're going to be by yourself. You're going to be isolated a lot. So you have to trust yourself. You have to believe in yourself very strong. And see, a lot of those people that want to be a part of the system, as soon as they find out that you're doing something outside the system, they're going to respond with negativity. And this is why a lot of people have such a hard time accomplishing anything, because if you wanted to last for a long time and sustain it for a long time, you're going to have to leave your town, leave your environment. You might even have to leave your family and get around other people that's doing whatever you're doing or whatever you want to do. That's usually how it has to go. And even once you get established, you're going to be isolated. You're going to be by yourself a lot, because what's going to happen, this is based on my experience. And P.S., by the way, you don't have to be a millionaire to have success. Success is whatever you want it to be. Everyone has their own definition of success. Money just happens to be a part of it. And that doesn't mean you're going to be a millionaire. Success to some people means that, hey, I can work with whoever I want, whenever I want, however I want, whenever I want. That's what success might mean to some people. Having the freedom to do whatever I want. That's what success means to me. I'm not obligated to do anything. I have the freedom to do whatever, with whomever, whenever, however, wherever. If I want to get on a plane and go to Brazil tomorrow, I can do that. I'm not tied down. I don't have shackles on my wrists. If I never worked another job again, I would be fine. Most people can't do that. Most people have to work a job. It's all they know. It's the only income they have. They're not creative people. Most people are not creative people. Let's face it. Most people, they only do what they know how to do. They don't try anything else new. Even if they can, they still don't do it, because they don't have enough confidence and enough spine and enough guts to even attempt to do it, because they've been rejected and told no, they couldn't do whatever so many times over their lives, and they just bought into it. So it's a lonely game. So I've talked to a lot of people about this type of stuff, and what I've told, because a lot of people say, "Man, I'm by myself all the time. I travel by myself all the time. You know, I feel lonely and isolated or whatever." And I tell people, you got two choices. Either you can go, or you can meet people wherever you're going and get with them and try to build rapport with them, be friends with them, or you start your own little crew, your own little circle of people. You really have two choices, really. Well, you have a third choice. You can just be solo all the time. Just be by yourself all the time. You know. Yeah, so I have many conversations with people about this. But there's a lot of room at the top. It's crowded at the bottom. That's just how it is, man. I wish I knew that when I was younger. Nobody told me that. I didn't have nobody around to tell me that. So that's first thing. Second thing, being nice don't really pay. And when I say being nice don't pay, I mean that going out of your way to be nice for whatever reason. A lot of us we bought into the idea that, if we're nice to people, They'll be nice back to us. They'll treat us the way we treat them. It doesn't really work out that way. What it is, you have to teach people how to treat you. You have to form boundaries. That's what it really is. That's what it all boils down to. People respect. Um, Respect is number one. That respect is first. Respect, nothing comes before respect. And the only real respect is self-respect from the inside out. You know, but see, we bought into the idea that it's all about love. You got to love people first, and that they'll automatically love you back. It doesn't really work that way. That sounds good on in theory, or maybe on paper, or just hearing it. It sounds good. The image of you walk around hugging people. You tell them that you love them, and people don't really respect that. You know, and see, the problem is people were raised very different. And love means something different to almost everybody. Well, even some cultures love. There's no such thing as love in some cultures. They don't even think that way. They know what respect is. They know what it looks like too. But if you start talking to some women about love, they'll be confused. They won't know how to respond to you because they don't know what that is. But they know what respect is. They know what respect looks like. And see, I always say, I wrote about it in my book, Love Can't Wait. Hey, let's talk about let's talk about respect. Let's talk about love later. Respect is first. We can get to the love and the sex and having a good time. We'll get to that later. Let's take that out the equation altogether, and let's get down to business. Let's get down to the you know what's going to be established, and boundaries and morals, and let's take care. Let's establish uh you know it's kind of like a bridge or a foundation first, and then we'll get to the the love and compassion and you know and affection. We get to that later, but at first we have to establish boundaries and foundation first. That's why I always say. So, because see, when you start talking about love first, it makes people confused. So I like to keep things simple. That's just how I get down. It creates much less confusion. And the next thing I would say is, in regards to women, you got to make women feel a certain type of way. And this don't have anything to do with how she was raised, or well, maybe, and yeah, well, regardless of how she was raised, she still has to feel a certain type of way around you. And see, every woman has a different relationship with every guy she comes in contact with. Now, I wish I knew this when I was younger, because see, I assumed that all women have relationships with the same guy. I assume that all women treat all guys the same. That's my way of thinking at the time when I was in my teens and even my early 20s. I used to think that, hey, if I'm a cool guy and I meet her, she should know that I'm cool. Even after a couple of dates, I assume she should pick up on it. I shouldn't have to say, you know, but it doesn't work that way. Women don't know what type of guy you are until months, years later. Women don't really think like that. Women don't really sit around and be like, hey, I'm not going to treat him that way because he's a good guy. He's relationship material. I'm going to treat him nice because, he's someone I probably want to marry one day. They don't really think like that. Women do things based on how they feel. So how you make her feel is how far she's willing to go. That's basically how that is. And I've learned that the relationship you have with a woman means everything. Means everything. I'm telling you. So this is why some guys will say, hey, that's why some guys gotta beg for sex and gotta, basically can't gotta have a hard time trying to get a woman to do anything. Because a woman doesn't see him that way. She's not really into him like that. And see, if a woman's around you, she has to feel like she likes herself better around you. And if that's the case, she's going to want to be around you more often because when she's around you, she likes herself better. She's going to want more of that feeling. That makes sense if you really think about it. I mean, why would you want to be around somebody and when you're around them, you don't feel better. You don't you feel like you're not comfortable. That makes sense to me. If you think about it, it really makes sense. You should feel some type of joy or fun or you know you should feel better about yourself or you should get better as a person if you stay around somebody for a long period of time. Like for me, for example, I know who I am. I know if I become friends with somebody and if they're open to doing certain things, you know, income wise or just just having a better experience. I know this person will get better if they stay around me long enough. But the problem is most people don't stay around me long enough. Because it's like I'm outside the box, like really outside the box. I think most people have a hard time relating to me sometimes. It's kind of like, yeah, yeah, he's in something else. He's in some shit on the internet. I don't know what it is, whatever. I know they say that, but they don't say it to me personally. But a lot of these people, they follow my channel. They know about the books I wrote and you know, the website I have. They know about all that stuff. So I think a lot of people that know me are kind of like intrigued. Some of them are maybe a little jealous, slight jealous up in there. I know. But hey, I still love them. Slight, like a little jealousy up in there. You know, but you know, at the same time, they know what I bring to the table. They know if they ever needed any help with anything online, I got them. They know if they needed help with any type of marketing and promotion, I got them. They know this. You know what I'm saying? And if I meet somebody that's online and they need any help, I can help them because I've been doing this for a long time. And see, I know me. I know, I have that I believe in myself, and I have enough confidence in myself that I know I can make a difference in somebody's life. You know, so you just have to believe in yourself when sometimes when nobody else does. Because I've met some people, and I still know some of these people. I don't be around them often. That it counted me out in the beginning. They say, "Hey, you can't do it. It ain't gonna work." I know a lot of I know quite a few of these people. I've had people stop talking to me because they found out I had a YouTube channel and they saw some of my videos and they didn't like my talking points. So they like, they don't say it to me, but the word get back to me through mutual friends, and they say, "Hey, such and such don't talk to you no more because he didn't like your talking points in the video." And I was like, "Well, it's okay. I wasn't really a big fan of his anyway. And we ain't ever really been friends anyway. So I'm not missing anything by him not wanting to talk to me no more. That's cool, man." So yeah, you have a lot of that. People will, you know, people do what they do. And like I said, it's crowded at the bottom. There's a lot of room at the top. That's just how it is, man. And the next thing I would say is, women can be very cutthroat. Women are very cutthroat. I'm telling you, it's some of the stuff I've seen women do, and some of the stuff I hear about, and even some of the stuff you heard about. I don't have it in me to do that, to be that way. A woman will hang out with you for months, you know, 6 months, 12 months, and you might be thinking, "Oh man, she likes me, whatever," you know. And all of a sudden, she'll just cut you off and jump to the next guy. Hypergamy. That's what they call it. It's like, I'm like, man, how do you jump? How do you leapfrog like that? And sometimes you might have two women or a circle of women, a bunch of women. You put a guy in the middle, she'll backstab all those women to get to that guy. And these are her friends. Like, I thought that y'all were friends. Yeah, but hey, I had to do what I had to do. Women are cutthroat. They can be cutthroat like that. You know, and women are funny acting like that amongst each other. Well, a woman will say, "Hey, we're friends," but at certain times she don't want to talk. I'm like, well, "Hey, that's your friend right there." She's like, "Oh no, 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 don't. I don't feel like talking to her right now." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, women are funny acting like that. It's like, women aren't really women don't really like each other like us guys. If that's your boy, that's your boy. You look out for your buddy. You make sure he's all right. It's like, I got your back. You got his back. He got your back. Women not really like that. Women kind of, it's this little dynamic that they have amongst each other. I'm talking about in America. Outside of America, of course, it's different. But in America, women don't really like each other. You would think women would be ruling the world by now, but they don't. Well, they don't really like each other. They just tolerate each other. It's like the way they function is very unique, very different from guys. you know. So I wish I knew, because the experience that I've had with women when I was in my 20s, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I thought she liked me. They'll cut you off, and it's like if you see them, they'll be like, "Oh, you so nice. I'm sorry. They'll justify why they had to cut you off and everything." I'm like, what? What? It's weird, and that's just how a lot of them function. See, I don't have the heart to to screw you over like that. I just don't have that in me. I can't. If I like this woman, if I say I care about this woman, I care about her well being, I can't screw her over. But a woman will. She'll she'll invest in this man and uh, spend time with him, meet his parents, and stay at. Some of her clothes might be at his house. She'll screw him over. If like, how do you do that? I don't have an enemy to do that. I can't. It's like, I give you an example. The past 10 years, I've had difficult times. I had a lot of people die in my life. Um, and I've had people close to me, they was there for me, during these challenging times, right? So I appreciate them because they didn't really have to do that. So to this day, those people are still around, right? But I can't see myself screwing them over. You know, Even if they have some type of difficulty or anything I can do to help, I'll volunteer to help. Sometimes without them asking, because I remember what they did when I was down. You know, so I can't screw them over. I can't do that. But a woman will. And I'm not talking about hood rats. I'm talking about college educated women. I'm not talking about hood rats. I'm not talking about the girl in the strip club. I'm not talking about women that grew up on the wrong side of the tracks or women from broken homes. I'm not talking about these type of women. That's a video for another day. I'm talking about college educated women that grew up with both parents in the household. And even if she didn't have both parents in the household, her dad was down the street. She knew who her dad was. Both her parents were in her life. These are women I'm talking about. Let's just be clear. Well, next thing I would say is, most women that you meet, they just want to smash. Most of them just want to smash. Most of them are unfit for marriage. Well, that's just what it is. Most women are not somebody you want to take home to mom. That's not going to be the majority of women that you're going to meet out here in these streets. Most women you meet, they're going to come in and leave. They'll stay around for a couple weeks, couple months, and they'll be gone. They'll move on to the next guy. So life is like a revolving door. That's just what it is. I've met a gang of women since I've been living, and I'll meet up a gang of more women. You know, on the second half of my life, I've met a gang of women. Most women, they come in and leave. That's just a part of life. Cycle of life. That's what some people call it. That's just what it is. You know, it's I kind of had a hard time with this when I was in my 20s because if I don't like to let a good thing go. So if I establish a good relationship with somebody, I want it to last forever. But that's just not reality. Reality is all you have is today, is the moment that you're around this person. And you have to cherish those moments, those times, those experiences. And when that person leaves, that might be the last time you see them. This this is how you have to think. Now, you might see them again, but you might not. And that's just what it is. And this has been my experience. I've been around people 5, 10 years, and all of a sudden we'll just float away. We'll, it will be less contact, and all of a sudden I won't hear from them no more. You know, and I'll call them, no answer, and that's just how it is. It's nothing. You know, that's just a part of life, man. People just come and go. You know, that's just what it is, man. You know, so most people, you're gonna be like, they're gonna come in, you gonna have a good time, and nothing's gonna come out of it. You know, it's just y- y'all did what y'all did, and that was it. You know, the next thing I would say is women give hints when they want to smash too. So if a woman wants to uh, get down and dirty with you, she'll make it easy. She'll call you up. Well, today they like to text, a text and say, "Hey, what you doing?" And you'll be like, "Oh, nothing much." Hey, you can come over if you want, or you can come over if you're not busy, or you can come over if you're not doing anything. Hey, you can come over, whatever. But they'll say stuff like that, and what that really means is she want to get down and dirty with you. You know, and this is out of the blue too. This is not some most of the time this happens like all out of the blue. You might be home, you might be at work or about to get off, or it might be a weekend, or it might be a nighttime, Saturday, Sunday. You know, they'll. It's like she, they don't want to mess things up, so they'll make it easy. You know, if a woman don't want to do something, you pretty much know because you're gonna have to beg and and nothing wrong with asking. But even if you ask, if she has to think about it, she ain't really feeling it, you know. And this goes back to she's just not feeling you like that for whatever reason. And a lot of times it could be majority of the time is her. She probably don't like how she feels about herself at the time. Maybe she's going through something. Maybe she got some psychological problems, or maybe she she picked up some weight, or maybe she lost some weight, or maybe she's popping some medication. It could be anything, you know. I mean, see, women are very complicated, and the older they get, the worse they tend to get too. That's another thing. This is one reason why a lot of guys tend to a lot of guys like younger women because younger women don't have all those psychological problems, and it's younger women have a different type of energy. Older women, they're like they don't. Most people, women, most people, just in general, the older they get, the worse they tend to get. They don't really get better; they get worse. Very few people, older they get, the better. Most guys, the older they get, the better they get. But most women, who she is at 40 or 45, that's who she gonna be at 50 or 55 or 60. It ain't too much gonna change unless she have some type of tragic, life altering experience. Maybe she goes in a coma and come back out or something like that. But for the most part, um, that's nature usually takes its course. And then we live in a pill popping society, the drug culture. People pop a pill for anything. And a lot of that has a lot to do with how women act. It messes up their hormones. It throws it off, and all that affects how women interact with you and everything. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you realize it or not, this has been scientifically proven to be true. You know, the drugs, the pills, that affects how women act and behave. You know, and the women they know it. This well, a lot of women that you meet today, they either have taken some type of pills or antidepressants or used to be on antidepressants. And a lot of them are not going to tell you, but a lot of them have. And a lot of them probably still are on some type of pills, especially now that, we're still in pandemic times. So these are just some things you have to be aware of. The next thing I would say is chill out on the gifts and the gift giving. Um, chill out on the giving women red roses on the first date. First date, you giving red roses. Chill out on that. Um that's not necessary. You're sending the wrong message. Red roses is a sign of love and romance. Chill out on that. I seen a lot of guys do that over the years. And I'm kind of observing, why would I give a woman red roses on the first day of me meeting her and seeing her? I just I've never seen that when I was growing up. And I'm being honest. When I was growing up, I've never seen a guy give a woman red roses on the first day of meeting her, or taking her out. Not the first day. You don't know nothing about this woman, but you madly in love with her. That's the message you're sending. Now you can give roses, but don't give red roses. You know, I just never seen that until um the late 90s. And today you got guys just do whatever. They don't even care. And the women, they eat it up, for the most part, because they like the attention more than anything. And most women don't even know what red roses is a symbol of. They just know that, hey, this guy's giving me a bunch of attention, and and there's no such thing as bad attention. That's all she knows. Some women are attention whores. So it's just don't and chill out on the gifts. I don't. You should not give a woman a gift unless it's a special occasion like graduation or her birthday or something like that. But you just showing up and you popping out with the gold bracelet on a date and rings, and chill out on that stuff. Or you taking a woman shopping on the first day, or you just taking her shopping just because you want to. I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, what, what's the idea of that? I don't understand that. And there's a lot of guys that are tricks out here, and they'll justify why they took the woman on a shopping spree. They ain't tricking if you got it or whatever. I just don't understand that. I didn't see that growing up, so I'm like, I don't know what to say about that. Uh, and like I said, women are gonna eat it up. I mean, and I wouldn't expect women to do anything different, you know. But to say that it's okay to spend if because I got it, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. Yeah, I can take a woman shopping. Yeah, but why would I do it? I don't know. I just never. Why would I take a woman shopping? I just met. I just don't know nothing. Really know nothing about her. Really, I met her last month. I just don't understand that. I don't get it. I'm clueless when it comes to that. So just chill out on that. I don't know. On you paying the woman bills, and why are you paying a woman bills that you don't know? He said, "Well, no big deal, man. I got it." Just because you got it, that don't mean you should do it. Now, if somebody looked out for me, been there for me, and if I can do anything to help them, of course I would help out. But we have established a relationship. The boundaries have been set. The foundation have been set. I know who she is. She know who I am. That's a different story versus somebody you just met. You don't really know anything about her. You met her 2 weeks ago and you taking her on a shopping spree. You bought her a gold chain for 2-3 thousand. I don't understand that. And you give her big red roses, show up with big red roses at the door on the first date. I don't understand that. Like I said, you can give her roses, but don't no red roses. Yeah, I don't just chill out on the gift giving. And the next thing I would say is respect is mandatory. I kind of talked about this earlier. Respect is mandatory. Um, res- the relationship goes as far as respect goes. Once the respect is gone, that relationship is over. It's over. You know. Now, some guys would say, "Well, what about love? If you put love first, it's gonna die. That relationship is not gonna last long. What about sex? Sex is gonna get old real fast. The sex is gonna change. See, everything changes. Everything changes or goes in cycles, except for respect. Respect is the only thing that's solid. It's solid. It doesn't really change. Respect lasts longer than anything, even money. To get money like you want, you gotta have people have to have respect for you. Respect could last for a lifetime. Respect could last even after you're gone, dead and gone. Respect still continues to be live on. Look at some of these people that's been dead for 40, 50, 60, 100, 200, 400 years, 1,000 years. They still talk about them. You know why? Because they respect them. Now, maybe they didn't respect what they did as far as conquering people, enslaving people, or whatever, but they respect them because of who they was, not necessarily what they did. They respect them because this person did something that they couldn't ever see themselves doing. This person believed in themselves so much they were willing to die for it. See, most guys can't do that. They can't see themselves doing that. You were willing to die for what you believe, man. Whew, man, that's powerful, man. If you're willing to do that as a man, you're gonna be unstoppable. Most guys, they envy men that's like that. They look up to guys that's like that. They respect guys that's like that because they aren't cut from that type of cloth. See, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm willing to sacrifice whatever I need to do to live the life that I want. Most guys aren't willing to do that. Most guys aren't willing to be uncomfortable for a couple of months, a couple of years, to be free for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Most guys aren't willing to do that. That's why it's crowded at the bottom, but it's a lot of room at the top. Because see, there's a sacrifice you must make if you want to be free. Freedom ain't free. There's no free lunch out here. There's a cause and effect. You have to do something, become a certain type of person if you want things to change, if you want your life to get better. That's how this thing works. And see, I've learned that nothing really gets better until you get better. And when it comes to women, you can really have any type of relationship you want with some woman out here. That's another thing I learned. You can really have any relationship you want. You don't have to follow what everybody else is doing. You can be completely outside the box. If you want to be poly, it's all kind of relationships out here. If you want to be a swinger, there's some woman out here that's willing to do it. If you want to have a threesome, you can do it. But there's a catch. You have to be a certain type of guy. If you're the average dude, you're not going to be able to pull it off. It's probably not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen. If you're a certain type of guy, you're going to get money. You're going to have the best relationship with women or above average relationships with women. Much better than the average guy, for sure. It kind of comes with the deal. It's like if you're free, if you're a guy with options, having women is like icing on the cake. It's not like a big deal. Women come and go. Some of them stick around for a long period of time, and the rest of them, kind of move on. It's like me having women. It's not really a big deal with me no more. It's like, yeah, it's every once in a while somebody pops up that really gets my attention, but for the most part, especially here in America, you know. But you can have any relationship you want, man. It doesn't matter how crazy you might think it is, or how crazy other people might think it is. But there's some woman out here that's down. There's women out here that's sharing guys, just like they do with these athletes. These women share these women share these women are willing to share these guys with other women, and they know each other. It's not like it's a secret. You can do the same thing too. And you don't even have to be an athlete or an entertainer to do it. You don't. You just have to be real. Some people say live in your truth. Just be real. Just be honest. Just be the best guy you can be. And your goal as a man is to be free, to do whatever you want, when you want, with who you want, wherever you want. You shouldn't have shackles on your wrists. You know, it's like I can't stand, especially with these jobs, when you work these jobs and they tell you, hey, when it's time to take a vacation, they say, oh no, you can't go. Like, what? I can't stand having restrictions. You know, see, I learned at an early age that I wasn't going to be able to stick around and work these jobs until I was 65 or 62. I learned that when I was 19 because there's too many damn restrictions. You know, I like having the freedom to do whatever I want. So whenever I get tired of these jobs, I just move on and go to the next one. You know, or when they start talking crazy, I just can't take it no more. I just leave. I quit. See, I have the option to do that though. Most guys don't. Most guys, if they quit their job or get fired, they're shit out of luck. But that's all the money they had. That's the only income they had. See, I have more than one income because, and I learned this at an early age through trial and error. And see, nobody tells us this stuff. Nobody tells us we should have more than one income. They tell us, hey, just go to school and hopefully you'll get a good job. I never got a good job. I never had a good job. I never had a good job. I don't know what that means. I made a bunch of money, but it didn't come from no job. It came from me investing in me and me investing into other assets. But the money didn't come from the job. I never had a good job. Never. But this is what they told us when we were growing up. And we bought into it because we didn't know no better. And then as we got older, it was like, man, this shit ain't working. I got to do something else to take care of myself and my family and my kids. So most guys, we start searching, meeting people, you know, and hopefully by this time we're not shackled by debt or overwhelmed with, kids and your wife looking over your shoulder. If you got a wife and kids, it's going to be very difficult, you know, or if you're overwhelmed, it's going to be very difficult to try to do anything else. You're going to have to make a sacrifice. You're going to have to tell your wife, look, babes, we're going to have to downsize, maybe sell this house or get rid of some of these damn cars for like 2 to 5 years until I get shit situated. And I'm going to take this money and I'm going to invest it into a business or something so we can move forward and get ahead in life. But see, some people don't want to do that. Some women don't want to do that. Some guys don't want to do that. See, you have to pay the price. There's a sacrifice that must be made if you want to be free, if you want to get ahead, so to speak, like some people like to say, you know? So, hey, man, I've been going for almost 55 minutes, man. I hope you got the point of me doing this video. These are just some, and I can go on and on, but I don't want to go but so long. It's like, I didn't mean for this video to be this long, but I hope you get the point. There's a whole lot of things I wish I knew before the age of 20 that I know now once I look back, you know. But hey, the good news is you get to hear it from somebody that's been there and done that, you know. So at the end of the day, man, it's all about, it starts with attraction. That's what it really, that's what everything starts from, man. Um, you have to be a certain type of guy. You know, if you need any help with this, man, go to chooseyourrelationships.com/kings. You know, you have to be a certain type of guy, man, to accumulate and attract certain type of things in your life. It all starts with attraction. It all starts with becoming a certain type of person, a certain type of man. So hey, go to that website. That'll get you started, man. And get all my books. Matter of fact, hold up. Get both of these books, both of them, on Amazon.com. You know, don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. You know, and the best part about it, man, you never see relationships the same ever again. You know, so hey, like, share this episode. Tell me what you think below. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.